You put that up there.
What did I do? What? I guess I put
Picture.
that one up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big one for today.
I know, right? Okay, then go into
Yeah.
chat. And then let's
We haven't
see.
get anything yet. Hopefully we got some folks in there. I'm not getting anything
Difficult. Hmm.
yet. Restream says we live.
You know who's online? Perez is online too.
Oh, well, that's okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Very good. Now I can get in there. Beautiful. Hello. Wonderful. Like, I'm going to hit the like button already because why not? We know it's going to be good. It's always good, but come on.
Because everybody's in the happy mood.
That's
Happy.
it.
They are in a happy mood. Let's see, everybody. I gotta push this up.
Hello. Okay. Hey guys.
We're gonna get them time to get in. Everybody's happy.
Hmm?
Spirit's happy.
They're already bouncing around too, aren't you today?
Yeah, they are happy to.
Watch for the orbs, guys. They're there.
They all
Getting any
ready.
sleep. I don't know. What's that? Sleep. I don't know.
Sleep? What is that? I don't think we're gonna get it anymore. I think we get
No.
put in stasis and then we're traveling at night and then coming back.
Mm. Mega red wave. It was awesome. Still is.
Oh, it's gonna get good. They forget all the stuff that they did to them, and oh, that's not forgotten. It's
Mm-mm.
highly noted.
Yes, it is.
Never forgotten. But let me tell you, he's got backup up there. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a different situation. Hey guys, everybody. Today, like I said, the energy feels like there's nothing underneath us. The energy changed, and we're just kind of riding it out. But we're wondering, are we um, what's underneath us and what's above us?
Right.
Bookshot. So we're gonna be doing some different things tonight. So uh, it's almost 8:30. I guess we got in here a little earlier, didn't we?
Well, it's a good thing. It took some time for that to kick in there. That
Yeah,
restrict.
definitely. Definitely. Sometimes it's fine, and then sometimes it's not.
Mm-hmm.
My allergies are starting for the winter.
Or whatever kind of winter it ends up to be, right?
They say it's not going to snow till February. I'm like, well, maybe not at all. One, Doug.
Folks still feeling crappy
I know.
here
We're
and there.
still waiting for that door.
Mm-hmm.
We're still not there. We are still not there.
Okay. Yep, my heating pad is plugged in. We're good. Heating pad, extra pillow in the back. We're good.
If they only knew how bad it gets for us for that.
I know.
It's so bad. Man, my allergies. They are kicking in.
Mm, no.
Okay. I didn't pay attention to Halloween. Not even in the slightest part of it
Yeah.
at all. What about you? Did you pay attention to
No, not really.
that? No.
I don't even think there might have been a few kids that walked down the street, but
Yeah, heating pad
I
every
don't
day.
participate in that anymore. So
Yeah.
bad. Yes, heating pad is our best friend.
Yes. The shepherd won.
How about the puppies? The puppies are conked out right now. Both of mine are. Yours is conked out too, right?
Yep, and she's eating, and she's always chews things up, and she's chewing something right now.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens. The flare went off. So we'll give it one more minute, and then we'll start to go down a list, and then uh,
Yes. I gotta
go into all this because I don't know how long this is going to take tonight. There's Miss Kimberly,
Hello, Kim.
and
Don't participate in any holiday. I hear you, Lenore. Yep.
no more. And then so everybody you hear, everybody goes Maxine. You guys, amazing. Um, so when you hear Marcy, uh, you hear everybody go, well, I'm gonna go Christmas shopping. You go, why? Excuse me, but why?
Mhm.
Not me. Not doing it. Sandra.
Hello, hello.
I'm
Oh,
telling
your
you,
pup
my
got a spider.
allergies are killing me.
I know.
Leonardo. Okay.
I know.
Sandra. So I think to start off, Terry, thanks. Um, I think we need to start off on the golden ages. What do you know?
They're here. They're
Right,
here.
the shepherd is talking about the
Fun.
golden age, and if you can go back to video after video, I've talked about it. Drew it. It's up. It's on Instagram. We're going into that process, and that has to do with the negative had to be off of our playing before we can get into that existence, because that's not something we need to worry about as we're rolling new things out. That's the thing. So with this 1,000 years, you know, going through this process, it's going to be interesting, um, of going into the golden ages with this situation.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I find it um, good just to verify it and how it's going to roll out. So here's a part. This is what I'm going to talk about with yesterday. Everybody felt like they went through, this treacherous war for 4 years, right? So
Mhm.
they were all gearing up for another process of this, here we go.
Yep.
We're going to get screwed over again, or how it's going to happen. But the thing is, when it went smooth, as it could be. I think a lot of us are just sitting back going, when are we going to get slapped in the face? When's that coming? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
what we're used to doing. And um, and that just shows you how much you've grown and changed. You're just in that warrior zone going, okay, where's it coming from? What direction are we going to get slapped in? Because, doing the right thing, and doing it for the good intentions and the good reasons that we do it for, um, or as you stand in the light and do it for honesty and goodness and character, it's just, I think, and for myself, I'm thinking, well, what are they going to pull in the middle of the night and do something stupid? But as I
Mm-hmm.
said, and this is going to repeat again, of the direction of us not winning and the direction of us winning, it's the same result and I'm not talking about, I believe that it's a election at all. Uh, you know, so I believe we already know 45, 46, 47. Um, so the
Mm-hmm.
stage was presented in not such a stressful situation. Uh, so when he was talking about things taking a lot longer to count, it just kind of shows you who's in charge of things now and how fast they come.
Right.
Very quick. Um, into that process. So we're gonna, I'm sure at the end they're gonna come up with some number that they're gonna total everything up on and all that stuff. So I don't even consider this an election at all. I just consider it's a stage presence that we
Right.
got to a new level in the presence of that. But the end result in this part of the stage is it would have been more if they would have decided to take this a different direction. It would have been more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it was going to break out in North Carolina anyway.
Right.
You know,
With everything
so
coming.
yeah. So with this golden age, we talked about what does that mean. You know, the golden age is about taking care of humanity,
Mm-hmm.
abundance. It's not about manipulation. It's not about one person being richer than the other. It's about balance across the board. It's about building the village
Mm-hmm.
in a strong way. I think we're there. Um, but I think we're going to be shocked how fast now that the floodgates were held, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's pushed through. Don't think that this is a process that they haven't got everything in play, how it's going to unfold. Um, so the thing that um, my biggest process with this is still to wait for this energy changing. We're not there yet. Well, I
No.
think did you find something with something about the sun? What they were saying? Was
Oh,
it
they were
you?
saying something about there were three flares today, 3 or 5 flares. I don't know. There were more flares than usual today, all the same number, which
Mm-hmm.
was very unusual. So, and then he said the sun's about to explode.
So be
Yeah.
it. So be it with that one.
Well, whatever the sun is at the moment will explode.
Yeah. So I mean that's the whole process with this is just allowing um 3 days of darkness to me is
Mhm.
complete calmness in a different way that we don't get those rays coming down and feeling it.
Right.
I mean, 6 months of this is too much already.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Hmm. Starting the beginning of April, and it's just consistently gone full bore.
Mhm.
So, um, this is why I want people with this process is paying attention to North Carolina and Florida, because that is an area of destruction and rebuilding. Rebuilding, seeing new buildings, new homes, new technology, new money coming
Mhm.
in a very fast way. And do I think that they're going to submit it in a different form of saying, hey, it's the same type of stuff like FEMA, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Some type of relief.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the thing about Shepard getting back in is the fact that the whole Chevron thing is going to be pushed finally and implemented in a fast way, in a very fast way. Um, so it's going to be better, faster, that we can start to implement those laws instead of everything was held back and not done anything for a certain
Mhm.
reason because that's the way they wanted to play it out. But the frustration, the stress is just built up to a certain point. But what people don't understand is their character, because you've gone through this for the last 6 months in a different way, it has built you up to a different type of resistance of the soul. If you
Well, that's for sure.
noticed,
Well, for
yeah,
those who do the work, yes.
it's a different types of resistance
Mhm.
completely. Um, so that should be interesting. So I'm interested in how it's going to play out in the future. Um, so like yesterday, the calmness. We're not used to that. We're used to the,
Right.
you know, ah, I'm just
Yes.
saying. So now it happened, and now we're in shock. Like, I
Yeah,
thought
shock's a good word for it.
that was easy. Are you sure? I don't believe it. But then, even on the reality on the opposite side,
Mhm.
you saw some stuff last night, but boy, did you see it today because it finally kicked in. It didn't go that way. It didn't go the other way. And in 2016, the resistance that was there was insane the next day. What you're seeing is just a younger generation of resistance. And you know why? Because there's not money behind it anymore. So let's talk about what when you want to switch to stand in a line of fire and watch it burn down. Now,
Literally. Mm.
symbolism, buildings, bridges, all of it's connected with that. Now, what you're seeing in California, all these houses being burnt probably in the middle
Mhm.
of the night in a certain area, is you ask yourself that question: what has happened in those homes? What area it is?
Mhm.
What has occurred? Who would ever live there if that is the situation? But I know that there are other section areas that they can't sell the houses or anything because who's going to live in them? And it happened to be people that are gone already.
Right.
Yes, the Amish,
Fair.
they're awesome. They all they want is peace too.
Yep.
That's all they wanted. That's all they so it's been great in that area. But so this is the thing. We're going back to bridges because I think it's a bridge that gaps and contains us into a certain um spiritual gateway, and that has to
Mhm.
come down because you want to be looking at any symbols on those bridges, buildings, because they have to mark everything. That's the whole thing is about the mark. So
Mhm.
now that all has to come down because their existence needs to be obliterated,
Right.
never to be seen, never to be remembered of that existence of that and what they did. It's because it's not something souls they need to carry. They just need to heal from it, move
Mhm.
on from it. Um, so yeah, I mean it's a scary situation, but in this time of change, get ready for buildings, bridges, and more fires. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, just occur in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden,
Right. Well, plus their um, suggestions of people being careful of certain issues because there may be something that pops up because there hasn't been enough water and there's too much wind. Don't light any fires on your own, and you could start something. It's just very easy for things to happen that way, especially when they tell people it's coming.
too easy.
You know.
Yeah. Um. So so people need to be more alert because the collapse of Rome or whatever you want to call it. Here's the collapse side. Look in your history how things look at the wars and how things just get obliterated pretty damn quick. And
Mhm.
this is the point of and then in the resistant process of things, um, I haven't seen that much. You know what I'm saying? To the extreme. And but the thing is these democratic cities will
Mhm.
be under an observation and we put in an isolated area to filter and they still got to get down to those little last layer of minions on the situation.
Right.
um so that is where I don't even I what I would say I think the military has already done an awesome job on how they've already done a lot of stuff and just getting in and getting out and all that training and uh, you know
Mhm.
um for pulling people out of their houses that need to be pulled at the right time and arrested. God, my allergies.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's been amazing to this point. You'll see it. People have seen it, but they're so good at getting in and getting out.
Mhm.
And so it makes you wonder from here out, how well is that going to be? We're going to come to a point that are the smaller communities where if you know that you're a part of this and you know that they're coming and you know they're coming after you, you're going to try to hide among the light.
Right.
They're still going to drag your ass out and they still know where you're at and they know what type of phone you're using. And this is where I honestly believe that 3 days of darkness has nothing to do with us because we've been in the dark for so long on this process that it has to do with their internet. If they're in a section area, they cut down the power, their cell phone, and cut off their communication. We've been in the dark enough
Right.
on this situation.
Right.
So, and then being shown what we need to see with our two eyes, you got to have the internet up. You got to be able to listen to it. So, parts of what they're saying is not going to happen. So,
Right. And you
um,
think too, all the people who post the real news that's going on,
mm-hmm,
it's all on the internet.
mm-hmm, exactly. We can take up some questions up to this point because I don't want to. Before we go on
Okie dokie.
some things, do you? Because we don't know how late we're going to be on here tonight.
Might be another long one. Uh, okay. We can get. Do you do you think they're still coming across the border while I scroll through?
Do you think they're well?
They
Do I
may
think
not
they're
be
coming
now,
in? Well, I think they're going to be a massive exit going home
right?
when they find that there's money in their original birthplace.
Mhm.
So that's going to be interesting because that's going to be another thing that everybody's going to be witnessing. Like, where are they all going?
Mhm.
Oh, they're going to go get paid. And to get paid, you got to go home. And that was the main reason why they came here is because they had to support their family and all that stuff. And now that need is a different situation. Um, but this is what I think as our world changes. And this is what I've said. I don't. The borders have to do um, with everybody trying to survive. Okay, when everybody has money as a collective, there shouldn't be resistance on anything. There shouldn't be, there should be open borders in a different way because it's one world
Mhm.
coming together. So I believe those are temporary situations because you're going to see a calmness that comes down once they have everything they need.
Right.
A stillness. Um, Basically, crime. It's unnecessary.
Mhm.
People only do it because of their needs of what they need. And what I want to see is the reverse as the prison system twists around how you put the ones that say that they are the right ones in there and take the ones that have been wrongfully prosecuted out. So they need to switch it
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
That's yeah, in a big way. So that's going to be interesting when that happens. Um, so there's a lot of things that we're going to be shocked by, but that's one of them.
Okay.
When I tell you massive arrests, I mean, I think people are gonna be like, I'm getting sick of seeing people arrested. I'm like, well, sit back. It's just gonna be like
Mhm.
a red ocean and just gonna keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. Clean, 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 cleaning it out, cleaning it out, cleaning it out. And,
More white
your
buses coming.
yeah, and your neighborhood might be quiet because you don't
Oh,
know until you know.
right. Okay. We
Until
have
you know.
another question on President Trump voiced concern the next 3 months assassination attempt or to look real. Thoughts on his worry?
Mm-mm. No,
Okay.
because higher technology is advanced in that situation. And always the thing that I always said that he is protected by a different type of energy that is protected whatever vessel is inside him. Use it. So no,
Okay. Thank you.
but it's
Uh,
hard for us to get out of that 3D process of thinking that in a 3D process.
right.
I don't know if there's enough prisons, barges.
I was
Uh,
just going to say they can float some. They can just
they're gonna have to. But
yeah.
this is the thing. I'm telling you right now, the day after uh, the election, being on the negative side right now has got to be very stressful.
I would think so.
So this is what I'm thinking. Last night you didn't get a lot of resistance or anything because they're like, I gotta pack my stuff up. I gotta get on a plane. I gotta get out of the country because they're coming for me.
Mhm.
They know it, and they are. We're coming for you. I mean,
And they know where they are, so they're probably not even
mhm,
going to be
yeah,
able to leave the country.
right, exactly. Um, so this is the thing, I think it's going to make people feel uncomfortable. A lot of things burning down, a lot of things collapsing. It's just going to make this
Mhm.
this whole uncomfortable feeling. But trust me, you'd rather have it gone than have it there
Right.
because you weren't paying attention to what it was for and what they were doing in that facility or house or place. It needs to be removed. So, like again, when you're feeling attached to a place or something like that and you're seeing them burn it down, it's just don't ask questions, just stay out of their way. Whenever that happens, if they're still doing it in the middle of the night, all of a sudden, eh, you could wake up in the morning and something's burned down again. So I don't think California is done. I think it's just starting.
Well, if what's going to happen to California, that's on your prediction. It's just starting. A bit to go.
Seeing something open up and collapse and then be burnt in the ground.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, demons don't
That's the way
quit.
to cleanse things too, right? Burn
Oh,
them.
yeah, it's a great way to cleanse.
Hmm.
Rods of God. Yes, that is right.
Yes.
That's what's coming down. That is Creator. Everything looks like it's weather related, but we're learning that that's not the key to the whole
No,
situation. Um,
that's what they're. That's the
well,
what do
it's
they
not
call
just the United States. I mean,
it? Right.
you're going to start to see this in the UK, everywhere. Paris, all, places. Those are some, um, so it should be interesting. Okay, and
Right.
this is another thing too is the shepherd is very good at setting the standard and not bending on that standard. So that's going to be implemented. They don't have to wait till a certain amount of time that happens because they know it's coming. So I'm sure that they're already like, let's get in line and get this done now because it's already going to come. And if they haven't been warned already, because you're going from structure, you're going from non-structure to a complete program puppet to complete structure and direction and expects it be done at a certain time and if being effective. So, and it's the same thing. If you work for a corporation, if you know that this boss is going to be a dick in that term and is not going to fold on anything, you're already getting in line for the situation. They're not
Hmm.
going to be doing it at the last minute. They're going to be getting in line. So just expect things to start changing. You're seeing um, them uh, because this is a flip publicly showing who's in charge. It's been in charge, and now it's being implemented. And there's no way to get out of it except do it the right way, or you'll get dismantled.
Hmm.
Period.
Right.
Or you'll be noted publicly for your crimes against humanity. Um, so I'm interested in watching how these building bridges and then I don't. Me and Jeep were talking about today, and
Yeah.
this is I'm going to say it in the way I've been putting these old predictions out for 3 years. I just said today I want different new ones that are a little more difficult, and she's like, "You better watch what you're asking,"
Yeah.
because they seem old to me because I've set them for 3 years. So now I'm like, I want something new and exciting and blah, blah, blah. I'm ready to get past this process of all this stuff that we're
Mhm.
waiting, waiting, waiting. We want the new stuff coming in now. And like Jeep pulled the picture that
Oh,
the
yeah, it's
shepherd represented
you have
today.
to, yeah, you have to put it on there.
Let me go in here.
Yep,
And I'm gonna go over this because I have actually not gone over this picture.
and bigger,
Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys something. If you haven't paid attention, the swords, and they're gold.
those 2.
These
Yep.
are gold too, and that is a gold bar, piercing it into the golden ages. And
Mhm,
this has to do with the shepherd, the king, and the ambassador that is in control of it in a planet worldwide. This is earned. This is given because of trust. That is how it's implemented. In any
mhm,
hero and any warrior, it has to do the trust of the people. Look at Caesar. You know what I'm saying? We're going
mhm,
down this route again. So, and the thing is, here's the world, and then, as we know, that's a shepherd, and then this is the golden power, you know, that has been given, um, because it is earned in a different way. And then the lower picture of him going down um, the red carpet, it has to do where he's leading us, So this has been important. One that downloaded a long time ago. And I'm going to talk about this because I said something to Jeep about this today. Now, if you guys notice, after every election, no one's saying anything. There's only a couple that I know that
mhm.
talk about the election before because they don't want to be wrong. Sloan is one that presented it. That's the only one I can tell you that was talking about this in the way that I was talking about this. She has the guts and the balls to say it the way she feels it. And
Mhm.
then I just draw everything that needs to be put out there. Um, but those two swords are important completely. Now, as I talked about these people that are running the world now in regions, like I said, you don't know what type of powerful vessel is actually inside them.
Right.
We get caught up in the name and the title, and it's a different vessel. And on the days to come, when things change, I want you to pay attention as we go into a council and look what's behind these people that you normally say, like the Republicans. I would be looking for an energy behind, tall person behind, very tall. Pay attention because I'm telling you the council's stepping in. And so we're phasing out the Republican side and the Democratic period, but we're implementing a union of the council that needs to be implemented in the first place. So pay attention to those details because that's going to show up very strong. Um, and this is something uh, Spirit told me, eventually they'll look back and not, looking at the shepherd as someone that they know to the core and that he saved our planet. Uh, and so as things change, you'll see that. Because we analyze and look at things in a 3D, we think we know that person in that way. But this situation has been planned for a long time before I want to say that, the late 60s, I think, that this was implemented to get this done. Um, so now it feels weird that we're getting down to this phase of things. And I got to tell you, there's many out there. There's such a long list. I want to say this because I appreciate all of them. I mean, the the truthers, the
Yeah.
true ones, the anonymous, the um, the axles, the I don't know how many I can tell you. The true UFO communities that are out there that did the work. Um, the healers, uh, they're standing, they're tired, they're wore out. Um, the individuals that have awakened, that are working on their healing, they're working on their process. I just want to give this honor
Mhm.
to everybody because you're here. You made it. You didn't think it was gonna get you here, but each soul individually
Mhm.
woke up in their own way, and they stood in that line and used their voice and spoke their words and trusted their instinct and did it on the fact of what their heart told them what was right. This is important. These veterans that stood up, um, that's there. The ones that are actively involved in the rescuing the children every day. Um, that that's a different type of warrior to see that daily. Um, and a lot are on X because there's free speech on there to be able to communicate that.
Right.
The blood, the sweat, and the tears that they put in. And each one of those warriors, each one of those um, people that put the blood, sweat, and tears, their days are like, is this going to happen? This is going to happen. And they just kept going and going, just like everybody else in our groups and everything else. Everybody keeps going.
Mhm.
And it's the spirit inside you because you're not giving up. You're going to keep going. And now you look at the what you've overcome in the last 6 months and where you started in that fear, and now you're not at that point. Anything can come at you now, and you're going to be stronger of being able to handle it. But that doesn't even touch this process because there always had to be one vessel, one spirit that had to lead us into that Red Sea to show that we could do it. Um, so, um, and we're there.
Yep.
So, what's going to be hard to getting used to is abundance, is goodness, is doing something for mankind. That's going to be a shock to society
Mhm.
in that way, and being prepared for that. So, I mean, those are the blood, sweat, and tears, the honor of that, everybody recognizing, everybody sharing what they had to share, standing in their truth. It needs to be seen. It's just something each one of you that I know that's in the chat, in the group, you can pat yourself on the back and hold your breath a little. Um, it's it shows light. But let me tell you, on the opposite end, it's a scary situation now. But yeah, I
Right.
think let me move this back. Um, that each individual, and I mean in a creator way, honors each one of those that stood with that voice to communicate that love and saying no, as we said no many years ago, and mine, I think at that time was, eh, it's not going to happen. So, uh, taking that God gene out of us is not going to happen. So,
Right.
so here we are. We're in this process now, and um, what can you do? You just got to keep going. We got to keep going. But we can hold our breath a little. Take a deep breath. Oh, whew,
For a little bit.
oh shit. Yeah. you know,
I don't know.
um,
Then you're over there asking for new things. I
but
don't
the,
want to get fault.
but this is the thing, and I'm gonna tell you guys this story, Jeep. When you guys, for each individual, when spirit or each one of us is driven from spirit to do something,
Mhm.
um, when I started communicating and talking, there was resistance of like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to go public, 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 public. You know, there's always resistance. And then, uh, and as Spirit says, that your intentions of how you do things and why you're doing it is very important to them because they know your true intentions. So when this started and I started communicating this, trust me, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if they want to hear this. And then uh, where we are today, it has to do with spirit in the collective saying, just do it. We will bring it. That's the whole thing. So this is just a beginning. I'm ready for phase two.
Mhm.
This is, we are ready for phase two. We're ready for humanity. We're ready for the calmness to come. We're ready for people to have everything they need. We're ready for animals to be taken care of. We're ready for everything to be healed. So this is where I tell you, you better be thinking about it now. Because when they were talking about this could happen overnight, this is not a 3D process anymore. We're going into a bigger, vast situation. Um, so it is a good feeling to be standing in a light and serving it. And each one in this group knows it.
Mhm.
They feel good about where they're at and how they got there. I mean, trust me, your relatives, your friends that went down this route and said, no, I don't want anything to do with it. You can feel very prideful because they are around the corner looking at what you're doing and watching things because they know that things are not adding up anymore for them and it's
Mhm.
falling and collapsing. So when they start coming back in and asking those light little questions, doing it with no ego and replying to what they need, it's the best thing you can do because it's coming.
Right.
And that's
Right.
why, uh, I mean, even for yourself, I mean, when do you think, as we can talk about this, for your own awakening of you're like, I am doing this, I don't care, you
Right.
know?
You have to. Just
Yeah,
it's like like a calling.
it
You have to
is.
listen to it. You have to
You
listen
have
to it.
to. Yeah. And I think yesterday of seeing all these people standing, I should go back to the prediction because remember in the 2020 predictions, they will stand in the line. Oh, I should have probably.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes. I remember in there. I'd have to go back. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. That they're like telling me right now with spirit. Remember what
Right.
they said as they stand in a line.
Mhm.
And I mean, it wasn't about it wasn't about the vote. It was about what they were doing and why they were doing it.
Why they were
Mhm.
standing in line. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Let me go back to what I'm going to go look at that because they're just telling me right now. Remember why we said it,
Right.
why it was important to relay it in that direction. I just want to go this because this is we just went through this phase last night, but it
Mhm.
wasn't about uh, casting that. It was actually being able to feel free. And you saw they stood up there till late at night.
They did. Yep.
And that power alone. Let me go through the darkness, selling this well. Hear from peace out. Uh, depopulation, erosion. Hold on, I'm getting there. Okay, here we go. So the autumn leaves will turn brown, and the souls will have a choice to be free. Whew. Red will shine before your eyes, and your spirit will stand in the long lines and ring the bell of freedom. Whoa, that's strong.
That is.
Damn.
That is.
That's what they did.
They're talking about a bell too, right?
Right. As autumn leaves turn brown, every soul will have a choice to be free. Red will
Mm.
shine before your eyes. Whew. Your spirit will stand in the long lines and ring the bell of freedom. And Shepherd was chosen before his soul entered this world in a way that is beyond human understanding. Chosen souls from the light are tested in a lifetime to endure the trials and to stay on the mission.
Mm.
Humanity will unite as one soul, healing the pains of the past as we embrace the soul and transcend into a limitation. This had happened last night.
Yes, it did.
I wasn't even paying attention there. Like, remember the line.
It's
Okay,
hard to
so
remember all of that.
I know, but they'll remind me. But I mean, the thing is, I mean, that's the whole thing. It wasn't to cast. It was
Mm.
to you chose freedom. You
Mhm.
chose free will
Yeah.
and not being limited anymore. So, you know, yeah, we want to go home every
Mm.
day,
Yes.
every day.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so we're in that process. So, um, so let's talk about. We talked about the bridges. Let's talk about the AI um, that you are recognizing that's stopping you from your path, occupying you from your path, stalling you from your path. It's like, you know, having to
Call it
go
distractions.
around it again. Yeah,
Mhm.
distractions on this whole process. It's and we gotta stay focused on that now, and we can't allow it to. Let me get a drink of water. Um, to stop us because we're at the verge of this. So you're going to recognize a lot of the AI systems more. It's all going to fall apart. These programs that are there to stop you from what you are supposed to be doing, the potential. So it's kind of like we have to zone in and stay. We have to
Right.
trudge through this mud and stay on focus. We can't. We can hold our breath for a moment, but we have to keep going on this. And I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, there's so many the students that I have for classes and stuff, and they're just treacherying through it. And I was talking to healers today. I mean, I told them, you have to value what you're bringing to the future that's coming, that's changing. You know, that's across the board. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's important right now. So, um, let's see. So
It's tricky though with all those distractions.
it is, but you're going to recognize that dark AI
Mhm.
process more, and then really the light side is going to shine because it's going to have a different energy. I mean, our conscience is changing.
Right.
The vibration that's coming in with the soul, that voice that I talk about, that frequency that's in the inner communication with us as we go into the golden ages. So you're already listening to it, you're already tuning into it.
Mhm.
So it's a important part. Oh, my allergies are so bad right now. God. Okay. Um. So yeah, this is where we're at. I mean, and this is everybody. And then,
Mhm.
you know how we were. This is the thing that's changing. The idolizing. It's slowly melting away.
Right.
One person's going to save you. You notice that it's a collective of
Mhm.
the awakening that chose to serve humanity at all
Yeah.
levels of conscience. All they had to do was step in it. So it's great. Um, so recognizing that. Uh, Sloan Bella, yes, she was the
Yes.
one that predicted that I back up on her prediction on that stuff. She's the one that spoke the truth to the core.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it's amazing on that stuff. So now we can move on to um we can answer some more questions and then we're
Okay.
gonna do another reading.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Do some questions first.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. The president of El Salvador. I'm not quite sure how to say his name. I might botch this. Bukele. Is he an important soul in our planet as part of this new change? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then
Yes.
my dogs want to be part of the conversation now. Uh,
Love
here we go.
him. I love
Here we go.
her though. Every time she hears my voice on the phone, she starts. Yeah, she's
Oh
like,
yeah, she
"It's
knows that
great."
Jenny's on the phone. Um, let's see. Do you believe that people with evil intentions will serve us more, even if it's people in our own private lives?
So service more to the light or the dark, or I
Will
mean,
surface,
being
will come out more? Will they show themselves more? And try to continue to be more evil? Are they gonna?
it's not gonna work because our energy on this planet is they don't have anything to feed off of anymore. Remember I talked
Mhm,
about it. The particles are dissipating. There's nothing to work off of that no more. There's no a big energy to implement that. And not only that, you won't be reacting in that way
mhm,
of the thing that you have to recognize when something, again, is stalling you or trying to get in the way of you working for the light. I think it's more of a distraction these days versus because things that were in the ground, surface to the top, and they're in a survival mode, and there's not anywhere for them to go except to be hunted down
right.
in a different uh, situation. Um, so I think it's just like the ego is dissipating. I'm going to tell you what I see. I mean, you can look at TikTok, you can look at these people that pushing makeup and all that stuff. I, I don't know if you see, but society doesn't care anymore. They don't
Well,
care
yeah.
about that stuff anymore. You feel It's changing into the soul process. We're more putting time and money into the soul than we are the physical process no more, because we know that that's not the value anymore. We know that the value is the soul, and we have to put time and nourishment into that across the board, and that's what matters. And that's where people are like, I want to for like classes, you know, they're just manifesting on their own, using their own potential, their own light to give information. That was the thing about my students. I was like, each one of you has information that's important, that's going to be shared in their
Mhm.
own way that spirit needs you to do it. And
Right.
that's the thing that changes. And now they're all podiums of lights of information, and they have no idea when it starts to really hit, and they're just going to have all this stuff coming through them, and they're like, wow, I didn't know. But we never know until they put us in the situation. That's what's changing. And all
Right.
of them are evolving in that way.
Okay. Let's see. NPC question. Are they all going to be disappearing and when?
Dismantling. It is like it's like having a communication of talking, and all of a sudden
Mhm.
it's not there. It's slowing down. It's dysfunctioning, and you're not feeling the energy behind it, and you're stepping away, and you're just seeing those disappear.
Mhm.
You know, as does the military know all that? Do they know which ones are? I think so.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
I do. Um, so how that is, uh, the trash in that way is dismantled
Mhm.
or removed, because it was presented here to occupy us and to stall the whole situation.
Mhm.
We're going to find out. Yeah, makeup is overrated. Um,
Um, oh, here's a storm one. There's a storm heading to the Gulf. Do you think it'll be manipulated to hit Louisiana?
hmm.
Because I know you did do a prediction
Yep,
on
it
Louisiana, but
has that has that is an area that has to go down on because of what's underneath it. And not only that, it's as high as that water, they show how high it's going to be in the trees. That's the
mhm.
difference with that. And it was very Pacific on New Orleans, um, Pacific area. But that is an area. So
Yeah.
yeah, that'll
Okay.
be interesting.
Thank you.
So, um, so let's start with.
Yes. What else would you like to go over? I know you got your list over here.
I
Unless you want
wonder.
to.
Well, I'm wondering. I'm asking Sarah how
Okay.
for because there's two. There's the 9:30 already. Um, there's some at the
Mhm.
end I want to do that's important for everybody. They don't realize that's everybody as the collective is involved. But another thing is, um, yeah, let's go start with the spirit choosing a person for
Okay.
a
So mini
reading.
reading.
Yes.
Okay, everyone. Jenny's going to do a free mini reading for someone in the chat. If you're interested in getting this mini reading, just know that you'll be calling into Jenny's phone and you will be on speakerphone. So this is a live mini reading on the video. If you're interested, just type in reading in the chat and Jenny will scroll through it and Spirit will let you know who gets the mini reading. And we'll give you Jenny's number to call.
I'm gonna give it a minute because
Yeah, give
I
it a yeah,
let
we have a
them.
lot of people in here.
Uh, yeah, so I'm gonna so they can go down just so they know I'm not picking it. They are.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. Spirit picks the winner.
I want it to catch up so everybody has a.
It's okay. I'm sure they don't mind waiting.
Taking my time because I'm
Mm-hmm.
waiting for them to hit. So it's up to them
So
when they hit it. Okay.
much appreciated. So I'm sure they don't mind taking their time. Thank you, Firewater, for that comment.
I'm just making sure that's the one they're picking. I'm going back up just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Patricia Berry.
Patricia Barry. Okay, Patricia, the phone number is in the chat for you to call.
I think it's funny when they once they get called, they're like, "Wait a minute, this is public."
That's what I try to say. That's what I try to let everybody know. It's live. It's in front of everybody. Loki would like a reading also.
he could, she could give a
She could give her own readings to the people. She needs her own channel.
Okay,
The dog food's
here we go.
expensive.
Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't believe I got through.
No, it's spirit. They'll figure a way to get things done. So now it's you can pick the subject that you kind of want to go into, and I just tell people whatever you feel it's calling to you to ask the question, and then I let spirit just go from there.
I think financial, that's been pulling me down so much. I've been caught up in a financial contract, and I'm hoping it's going to end early with everything changing with the election and everything.
I already feel that it is. They say they're already showing me, so it's because there's nothing that can back it up anymore, and there's nothing that can hold it there anymore.
Yes.
So, and there you've been asking and asking for the relief of it, the chain of it to be done with the situation. So, they're already showing me that your energy is like at night. You just want to be out of it. So,
Yes.
so they're telling me yes. So it's almost like deterioration is what they want to say. It's deteriorating. And there's
Yeah.
nothing that they can do legally to a certain point after this. And they won't have the energy of their time to pursue it.
Yeah.
So and I just feel like they're showing me it's been months you've been thinking about this and asking. I need the
Oh,
answer
yeah.
that
Praying and
yes,
affirmations and
right.
everything. Yeah.
Because they said it's been stressing you out to a different and then putting a lot of stress on your spirit and everything. So it's just a hard situation to put yourself through that. And it's
Yes.
just it's emotional too. They're showing me and it's and the people around you know it's affecting you and all that stuff because you're like I just want to be free.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and so they're showing me that they've heard your calling for that.
Oh,
And
that's so good.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing, and they're like, Jen, she's a really good person. She's a huge giver. She's trying to take care of everybody in her life and do the right thing, but she needs the freedom to breathe.
Yeah, definitely.
And so you can take a step back and take a break and just get a hold of your balance again.
Yeah,
Cause
exactly. I feel like I've been off balance and it's just pulled the life out of me, you know?
well, I actually well, and then it feels like the heart area and all that stuff, and how there's uh, it's putting too much stress on that area too. And I can
My heart,
feel, yeah,
my heart.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so the whole process of going through that is just too much. We all know our limitation, but they're showing me you're at a point. You're like, I can't do this.
yeah, yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. And then you realize, you know, you just get caught up in it because of circumstances, you know, divorce and everything and the finances. You make wrong choices, you go down wrong paths, and you take a step back and go, wow, you know, but there was so much learning and growth that happened at the same time, which I'm grateful for.
Mm-hmm. Um. So sometimes I don't even know how to do this. Uh, this part of it because I'm talking to you, but then I'm getting an elder female coming in that really feels your pain.
Yeah, maybe my grandmother.
And there's like a traditional person that just observes you all the time, and you come across her all the time. And also, she says it just feels like things around you. She tries to give you signs that she's there, but also smells. And then she shows me you being alone in like bathroom and all. That's when you really let things go. She sees your emotion.
Yeah,
People don't know what you've been going through. She knows.
I, I know she's been there to help me. I know.
And so, and because she says I was there because you have such a good heart. So if I'm here on the other side observing it and seeing it, but I'm still here. You're not alone, and I know you think you're alone.
No, well, you feel it, I guess, in this world, but I know on another level that I'm not. You know, I had so much help and so many blessings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been rough because I guess I'm a Capricorn and the whole Pluto and
Right.
Capricorn thing was. Now I look back and go, wow, it's been like a rough 10, 15 years, and I can see why. But you just, when you're in it, you're in it. You're just going through it. You got your head down and you just keep plowing forward.
Right. Um, so always your intentions are good and pure, she says.
Uh, you question yourself sometimes and you don't always do it good, you know. But I was wondering if my father had just passed also with all this financial burden. I was trying to care for him, and I was wondering if um, he's okay with everything. I know he was tired. He was 95, and
right.
He wanted to go, and it was like I'm praying for him to stay, and he's like, I don't want to stay anymore.
No, he didn't, and I just feel there's such a weakness, a trembleness of weakness in his soul, and I mean in the way I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, I know he was.
And he shows me the relief. You have to understand that sometimes when you pass on, you don't the way you connect with that is you don't feel anything. You don't feel pain, and you don't realize, you're like, why ain't I feeling this? And so then he's showing me as things were released, and that light, that draw, that warmness.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was almost in shock that I was here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but he says when I went, I left. I didn't look back. So
yeah, he was ready to go. He was ready to go. I know, but it's just
yeah,
this physical world that holds you back.
it did, but he was ready to relieve the burden, he says, I was ready to let it go.
Yeah, I knew
Because
that.
but he has complete trust in the decisions because you analyze things to make sure you do it for the right reason. He says everything with her. She'll analyze that to death if she doesn't do it for the right reason.
I know, and then you
Yeah.
question, everything you do,
Yeah, so he's for I just feel a good heart with him too, and he tried to do everything the right way too.
Oh, he did. He was wonderful to the family.
Yeah.
He was a great artist. He had beautiful paintings, and he had a rough life too. He was born with birthmark on his face, and
Right.
he was just like, I did this. It's
Right.
good. I had a family, and I'm ready to go.
Right. So, and I just feel that he doesn't want you to hold on into anything.
Yeah, of course you question everything. Like the last week was rough. Of course, physically everything was going down, and you question yourself. I should have did this. I should have.
No, and that's what he knows. That's like they went back to like spirit saying your heart. You carry everything in your heart, and you need to
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
and filter it out instead of holding it. He says so. No, he says you honored me and still are honoring me in what you're doing.
Oh, that's good.
So, so the whole process with him is, you look at me and see my light and my potential.
Yeah.
And not that everybody could see that, but you did.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, and the paintings that he's showing me now, it's Lee's his signature here and his expression here. And I know that there's a couple that you'll keep, but yeah, he wants it to express to others too.
Yes, I am. I'm making copies for the family, and they're loving it. Also, they're all precious,
Yes.
beautiful paintings.
Amazing. So, yeah. Uh, so I hoped this helps you.
Oh, it did, Jenny. Thank you so much.
No, it is. It's spirit is the way they are.
Yeah, my heart was palpitating, and I kept saying, "Please, Spirit, let it be me." And so maybe they heard me.
They heard you. So
thank you so much, Jenny.
You're very welcome.
I love your show. Every time I see you come up live, I'm like, "Oh, she's on. I gotta catch up."
Yeah. So that's what we're here for. Me and Jeep are here. So you take care, okay?
Thank you so much, Jeep. I appreciate it.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Take care too.
Bye.
Bye.
I need to go
you.
get a clean.
Need a second. Take your time. It's all good. Take your time. It's awesome that Jenny can provide that. Appreciate it.
Okay. Hey, sometimes I try to, especially on live, I don't try to go into mediumship, but that was hitting hard.
Yeah, it seemed like it. Yes. Hey, if it needs to be done, it needs to be done, right?
Right. So, I know everybody's.
That's
What
okay.
is she doing? So what we'll do is we'll answer some more
Just need a
questions, and
minute.
then I'll do one more. Since
Okay.
let me dry out a little bit here.
Yep. Take your time. Okay. Well, someone was asking the group if anyone's experiencing dizziness, like your equilibrium's off.
Do we want to go
Yeah,
down there?
I
Let me
know.
tell you. So, Jeep, you go ahead and explain this to
Oh,
them.
yes. Yes. Now, we've been feeling it for several days now. Well, probably more than that. Yesterday was a doozy. Yeah. It's
It
part of it all, and it's,
it feels like we're on a ship
yeah.
and we're
Yep.
moving in motion, and then the head just spins and spins and spins, and it doesn't stop.
Mhm.
whatsoever. And it just feels like it. I mean, I feel I don't drink, but I feel drunk.
Right.
Uh,
Same here.
what we're dealing with.
Right.
So it's a hard situation to go through on this process.
Yeah. And there are
So I
days when you just have to lie down,
mean,
sometimes on the floor, and we've done it.
yeah, Spirit said get on the floor, and I'm like, really? On the
Yeah.
floor?
Just just
I
take
mean,
take a
it's
nap on the floor. Mhm. That's okay.
try. No, it was yesterday. Was just laying, and
Yesterday was
everything
like
was still spinning.
mhm.
So there was no peace with that
No.
whatsoever on that
Right.
process.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that was an ordeal.
Okay, here's another one.
I'm sorry, Roz is gonna killing me right now.
Oh, is she?
Anyway,
Oh, no.
trust me, she's funny. Anyway, um, any, uh,
You too, huh? Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Here we
she's
go.
funny. So anyway, uh, okay, go. Let me
You
refocus.
you good for another question, or you just want to do another?
No, no, no. Go ahead for another question.
Okay, we got a couple more. What do you think of Baron and Melania?
Palladian, Palladian,
Right.
completely.
Mhm.
There's just a look about them and an energy
Yeah.
about them. That was the thing. Um, very strong. It's just
Mhm.
always consistent and balanced, and it's not just physical process, but there's a knowing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you. Um, are we in the middle of a timeline change?
it
Will we
started.
just
Yes.
meld into a new president?
You know what? It's interesting because you feel like you get up one day, and then the next day it switches again, and then the following day it switches again. So it's frustrating.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's uh it's and when we get to the point where we're waking up and we're wondering where we're at. I mean, because I think at night we're not even sleeping, we are leaving. And because
Mhm.
it feels like we're in a stasis and we're not in a sleep process anymore. That's the thing that's changing.
Right.
We don't feel that sleep pattern is there like it used to be, how we would sleep and go into this deep process. It's not there
Mhm.
anymore. And I never hear, spirit or any type of angelics or anything talk about going to sleep.
Mhm.
So I guess we're getting into that process. But yeah, it's interesting.
Be nice if it was just, yes, we're in that process as opposed to, yeah, I'm super tired, but I can't sleep.
Right. That's the
That's
that's
all
the
right.
whole thing. Um, so are
We,
we, and then not only that, but just upgrading in a different way with doing that too, because before when we started in April, you would just feel all these patterns, and now I feel like, especially you could talk to some of the healers and all them, they're they're feeling it. They're waking up. When we wake up, we feel like we didn't get any sleep. We don't know
right.
where, we feel like, did we just go through a war or what? We're not eating.
No,
Nope.
barely.
It's nuts, but it's true. It's the way it feels on a level of consistency
Mhm.
like that.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Here's another one. How long do you think it will be until the UK has something significant happen?
and I would say the States is first, and it's just a chain effect. UK is going to be right across quick, right after that. I mean, once that it's just a chain effect with everything.
Mhm.
The smaller countries is going to collapse quicker. It's just this is the one that has to go down. That's the circuit board of everything, and then boom, it's done. So
Okay.
not only that, I mean, we're the last one that gets our shit together. There's the spirit. Oh my
Yep.
gosh,
Wow.
they're coming
Okay.
in.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were there.
Is it time for another reading?
They're like, hello. Um, so so the whole process of that of where we're going and how that chain effect, and it's just like I said, a circuit board that's sparking and coming out and stretching and all that stuff.
Mm,
So yeah, I mean it's there.
right.
So yeah, it's amazing. So yeah. So I
Great.
can mention that you could set up a whole hour readings with me to go through that process.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, so yeah, we're the mainframe of the circuit board. Once the circuit board goes down, and then everything will just fall underneath that. And that's what I think is going to happen across the board on that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean it's a big change.
Okay.
So um oh, that's when I want to go. The masses of the media, and I think that that's coming. The breakdown's coming. Like
Mm,
major. So what you need to expect is to see new outlet ones, criteria of trueness, journalism stepping in
okay.
big time. So and it's already in a deterioration. I mean, we all want the CNN one to be the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, make our
Yeah.
day. Let us be happy about that. Let's just see it just fall down
Right.
in such a way. I mean, what people need to understand, the looks that you saw on the shepherd's face in court and how all that process has happened. I want you to imagine the list that is there and then check off,
Mm-hmm.
done, done, done. In such an angelic uh, powerhouse behind it. I'm just saying in that process. But yeah, it is going to be interesting. So I'm I think that is people are going to be relieved to see that
Oh yeah.
um in such a powerful way.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, here's an interesting one. Um, do you have anything to say about the whole squirrel thing? Peanut the squirrel.
It's a reference that uh, I have used for a while in a higher mindset. You keep my attention, and then I go squirrel. Okay, so and then the reference. Where was it that you saw it just go across the screen?
Oh, there
Where
was
went?
at at Kamala's concession speech stage.
Right,
No one was on it. It was just,
right.
but it ran across the stage.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Your distraction, your whole process of that. Yeah. So it'd be really nice if that squirrel was not actually dead. You know what I'm saying? The one that they did. So I mean, it would be nice to find out that that one was not really gone, but um, they are the squirrel that passed on or supposed to have been. We'll see.
Right.
And the raccoon. We'll see what that happens.
Right.
But
Okay.
we'll see what goes with that. But yeah, I think it's a metaphor of looking another direction, paying attention to something
Mhm.
else. So because I've been using that reference for a while. And
Yes.
I mean, when someone's just really slow, uh, ah, bye, I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
I've
it's
known you
pretty
long enough to
interesting.
know that.
Yeah. Spirit is like occupied. There you
Mm,
go. Nope, we're over there. So
right.
interesting. Um, we'll take one more question, then go
Okay.
to
Okay. Let's see. It's grandma. Okay. Our landmass is stable. No more sinking of California, Seattle, China, etc. Well, I think those are separate. Let's start with obviously California. That's gonna.
yeah,
You said that's gonna go.
right.
Seattle.
Deterioration and fire in the ground and yeah, literally burning hell, its own hell, in the pit.
Right. And how about Seattle?
I see a lot of water with that. A
Okay.
lot of water, saturating and drowning out certain things. So yeah, a lot of water.
Okay. And then China.
Fire and water. So they're saying fire and water.
Interesting.
Two,
Okay.
fire and water. I don't even how cruel they've been to their people. It's whew,
Hmm.
there's some karma gonna hit that some big time.
Right. Okay.
Very cool. Not good. Peanut the squirrel, yes. I hope
Yes.
he's really alive. That'd be nice. Because not good karma.
Right.
So, um, okay, let's.
Set some time aside for another. Shall we do another? Have everybody type again? I just want to go because it had a few new people pop in.
No, we can ask a couple more questions and we can go into the reading.
Okay. All right. Sing anything for St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Puke. Um, sorry, I'm in
That's okay.
Minnesota. um, and it's just because the people that run it
Mm-hmm.
and oh, oof, um, yes, containment in certain areas, filtering them out. So that's what's going to happen. I'm not seeing weather-wise in that situation. I don't think it's a strong resistance in certain areas. So I cannot go to that area. I cannot take the energy. I cannot the whole structure there puts me off balance. So anybody that can live in this situation and awake, I really feel for you right now. But it to me, it's just all containment there that's going to happen. Yeah, see, spirit went up again. Okay.
Yep. So another one.
So I don't see anything like snowstorms or uh, flooding. I'm not getting the resistance. It feels like they're filtering. They'll be filtering people through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Will the corrupt governor of Massachusetts be removed? I don't know if that one has already been removed or not yet.
Yeah, I think so.
It's okay.
And I think I saw too, and I think this is true that the government, senators, and all that stuff, the corruption, you're gonna see it publicly of knowing all of that. Was
Mm-hmm.
the one in Michigan that's mm, 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 mm. I couldn't
Right.
deal with her. So yeah,
Alrighty.
I guess everybody has a price, right?
Yep. There's a couple of personal questions, but if you get chosen for the reading, you can ask it then. If not, you can always contact Jenny for a reading. Yes, spirits been out around Jenny all night. Yep, that's how it goes.
They haven't.
Let's see.
Okay.
All right. So shall we do
So
the
so hit the reading so I can do it the same way. So I'm gonna kind of put
Okay,
that
so
out.
for those who have missed it before, Jenny will be doing free mini reading live here on the show. You will be on speakerphone, so it's very public. If you're interested in the reading again, or if you're new, type reading in the chat, and she will go through, and Spirit will pick who receives the reading.
Just have something's coming.
Uh huh.
Mm,
Feeling it.
feeling it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. You know, it'd be interesting to do on here. One is for them to have a pet
Oh,
and do a dog reading. We'll have to do that one time. That would be fun. On air.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
great. Uh,
Pet communication reading. That'd be neat.
that would, huh? Because they have such personalities and are very, I don't say annoyed, but they rat the owners out very well.
Oh yeah. Yes. I'm sure mine has a lot to say.
But
We'll keep mine private.
she's voicing. It's a whole discussion. Bitching.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, it that was in my head with her already. The
Sorry.
carrots, the carrots. The carrots.
Oh,
Okay. Sorry.
yeah, that's
Get out
okay.
of my head. Okay. Um identify as a pet. Okay.
Right.
Brain focus. Okay.
Warren, can you read Ghost Dogs? Yes. Where's Warren?
I saw it and then I lost it, so I
I'm
lost it.
sure it'll
I
show you
saw it.
again.
Just looking at it, looking for it, because they missed it, and then they went back.
You blame my dog for that one. Getting
Oh, yeah.
distracted.
The Warren Sherfield.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, we're in
Okay,
the middle of the
Warren.
winter with these allergies.
The number's in the chat for you, Warren. Warren actually just asked if you could
I
read.
know. Spirit went, huh?
Maybe
Okay.
maybe that's what we're doing today. For kind of.
We'll see what they say. So the carrots. While we're waiting.
We could talk about that later.
It is. certain brands you get upsets her stomach.
Uh,
It's funny.
that's grandma's probably,
Probably.
because I buy organic versions and grandma doesn't.
Oh, really?
My pets are spoiled, you know this.
I know. Just waiting.
Yep, it's okay.
Here we go. Hello?
Hello, it's Warren.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. So, now that you've been called in the chat room, what would you like to go into?
I don't know. I haven't thought about this.
So, what I would do is think about a question that you want answered that you're like, it's been eating at you for a long time, or you're like, I can't figure it out. That's what I would start with.
Okay. Well, off the bat, I would say, why does my life seem so stalled from age 18 to age 62? Well, I'm not 62 yet, but I almost this month.
You know, I get your soul like one of my friends. It's kind of like the same energy and almost like coming into this realm on in here. It was met with a resistance of not wanting to do it, not to want to walk in the steps. So, and it's a conscience of knowing that you're like, I don't feel I want to be here. I want to be more enlightened and do something that is bigger. That's what I'm hearing, and it just feels like, and I feel like this. I don't say frustration, but I feel like you have learned a lot, and I mean, in your conscience level, and you're always trying to seek more knowledge, but you're always seeking people just like you on top of that with this whole process. So I just feel that you came in this world in a different old soul, and it's their spirit saying that there's boredom, because I feel like you've already been here going through this process already. And I almost feel the physical body and the soul, it feels like it's repeating something again. Does that make sense?
Well, is it me or is it some other thing?
Well, it is your spirit still holding, how do you say the word, residue from another time. And I just get this tiredness inside you that's already done a big job. And so every time, but only that, you get challenged, they're showing me. So you see everybody's path, everybody compares it and go, why is it so easy for them? And it feels like I'm just at a resistance all the time on treading water, treading water, treading water. And I just feel that your potential has to do with holding, I would say, a light, but you're being tested all the time. And you're trying to seek knowledge to get to the other side. And it feels like it distracts you, like I was talking about earlier. So,
I feel stifled because I feel like I've been challenged so much in my life with so many obstacles and such.
but you notice,
It goes on and on.
have you noticed that each challenge with that, it seems like it gets harder and harder? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, what you did 10 years ago, the challenge seems minor now compared to what it is today. It feels like it gets harder. And that's the character of the spirit testing it more and more. So I think if you look at it, it is not something you're doing wrong. It's the way you are being tested and put through a process. And you'll look around and look at everybody else. They're not going through that, that's around you. And that's the same thing where, like, when people feel like they're trying to connect with people that are intuitive and no one's around them that they can talk to, or that there's awake. So I just feel with you, you have to recognize and ask yourself with spirit, go, okay, I understand and acknowledge this is a test. So once you, it feels like it's repeating the same test over, that's what they do until you pick it up. Well, you have to use your voice and tell them, I get it. I get that I'm being tested. I get
Well,
that
believe
this
me,
is
I do use my voice to
okay.
my higher self or whatever, and I tell them I did not sign up for this. That's the main thing I say. I
Right.
do other stuff too, but that's the one I say most vehemently, you know.
Right. And they say, and they're saying is like, because he doesn't remember. Like, not that you signed a signature, not that, because I was kind of put in the situation in the same, just thrown in the situation, like, here you go. So that's the thing. And so there is arguments, discussions going back and forth. And it is literally sometimes talking to like just a real person and having a relationship. So this is the thing I'm going to tell you. You want to know what could change with this? When they present stuff at the millisecond that they present stuff, you have to trust it quick. Okay. If you don't go into doubt whatsoever on it, you'll start to see the power that it has. And I think that's what they're trying to get you to understand. You have the power to send things in a direction. Once they present it, go completely straight in that direction. Don't go into.
How often should I be doing that? Every hour I
Oh, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. That's how it works for me. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. The first thing I talk to, the last thing I talk, the spirit's the last thing I talk to at night.
I feel like there's no special particular time. It's just that when it occurs to you, then you talk to and address it with the ethers, I guess.
Right. But I mean, well, they're very good at putting you in a situation, in a public situation, and then really pushing the test on that. And there's an argumentation that goes into my head as I'm
Well, they never do any favors for me, and I figure I know I've got to do stuff on my own,
right.
and they want me to, but it's like I never get any, not even like little minor things
Right.
to keep a carrot in front of me. I don't even have the dangling carrot in front of me, you know?
Right. They do. But that keeps you going because you don't have a choice. And I got to tell you, this is the thing. And people, healers, intuitive people, there are times that we're down on our knees and wiped out from the situation. And we're like, we're done. You use your voice and you're done. But then all of a sudden, you get back up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But is it tiring? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes. But the thing is just your soul potential is strong, and
I
it
feel like my soul is being messed with.
I am not feeling that in the upper dimensions. I feel like you might, what it is you're opening up to people that are consuming your energy. And then uh you need to, this is what I, which is a good reference, is tell people to put a parasite above someone's head, that the energy feels lower and it consuming you, then you're not going to allow that in. You have to be very careful. And this is the thing with intuitive people, anywhere we go, we're paying attention to the environment you're around. If you're just going through a supermarket and you're just dealing with it, you can take anything on. So you have to be aware of your environment and what you're walking through and seeing things as veils. And if you start to recognize that, you'll start to know balance. I always have a crystal in my pocket anywhere I go to move energy.
Well, I'm not that social of a person.
Okay. But walking through a store, but you don't have to be. I mean, I have to hold a crystal in line when I go to the store. it doesn't have to interact with it. You just got to be in front of it. So that is the way, and the test is not easy. The what?
It's hard for me because I'm a Scorpio, but I have a Pisces rising.
Hmm.
Jupiter and Chiron kind of conjunct my rising.
Hmm. Well, I could tell you all the astrology stuff. I could not reference you in that area because I don't look at any of that stuff on that. And Jeep will tell you. You can ask me. I'm like, no, I don't know nothing. I don't look at any of that. Um, so what I see,
Conversation we're having.
huh?
I love this conversation we're having.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm talking to you, but it's great.
Yeah. I mean, I think what I could do for you is like just email me and I can give you some specific more of daily stuff which you could deal with and use some barriers. And I'm telling you you'll feel better. I just really believe that it's just a direction and a location how you're looking at things and then you'll be better for the situation.
Okay.
So just contact me and then I'll give you. I have a lot of stuff that spirit presents with that, but I really believe it's a different type of protection you need to look at walking through things, and it doesn't matter if you're interacting with them or not. It's just what they're taking from you and using. So sometimes it feels like you're just treading through water.
Yes. Well, it's not people in my life who are doing it. It's something else.
Well, and that's that other realm that the veil
I am
and
negative. I'm pretty negative.
mhm.
I
Then you're taking, but I just feel like you're taking your filter, and you got to recognize how you
since the age of 18, I've been like,
right. So I would, if you send me pictures, I am very good at looking behind and seeing what I could see. So on this type of situation, I have to look behind you, and I this YouTube, I'm not doing it because it might, it's a little different. But yeah, just send me an email and pictures, and then I can look at that. Does that sound good? Okay, I'll talk to you soon, or give me an email, and we'll work through this.
okay, well, thanks a lot, Judy.
You are very welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Are you there?
Thank you.
Okay, so
We're all
understanding what a lot of people go through this, but it does feel like war sometimes. And then that's the thing I always tell people: when you look at someone in your that's the squirrel thing, and then you're feeling you pull back, it feels uncomfortable, it's not balanced, and then you need to shift or you need to identify before it consumes you. Because sometimes we take people at their word and what they say, and then we get into having that communication, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's heavy. And then you have to go back and where did it come from? How did it start? And then some of us just take it all. So usually with that, I mean, that's the first thing is I look behind them, and see spiritually what's behind them. Like, is there something there? And that is the first thing I do is identify. So I can't do it online because I have to look at it in a different way. But I think these days, it's happening a lot. Or just it can exhaust you in a different way. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So hopefully he'll contact me. Um, so let's go into some more allergy issues. Gosh. Okay.
Right. Right. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Got a couple of questions. Do you know if banks will be closing soon, or have they all had to?
I already think that, and they had to have a certain gold standard to a certain percentage.
Mhm.
That, and I think that's already been um, made. They've already made those decisions, and I think they gave the banks a certain amount of time to make those decisions.
Mhm.
So I think that's already there. Because you already saw some go down. I feel like there's a little more coming? Yes. Uh, but um, they're not the word banks that's going to turn to a different name in the first place. So I think that's
Mhm.
changing. Like locally, let me tell you, I was very annoyed with one. And let me tell you, I was like, either he's an AI program, there's no sympathy, no empathy. And I'm just talking
Mhm.
this solid, uh, soulless person, this
Right.
dude. And every time I would ask to pull cash, he would just look at me like I was like killing him. And I'm like, listen,
Mhm.
first of all, I think you're soulless working for the bank, but um, this guy was bad. I mean, it's just his energy. And then the other day I went in the bank and I was like, well, he's gone. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because that whole process of uh, an ass, and it wasn't just for anything. It was just the energy on everyday existence dealing with him, um, because they know when you go in and ask for
Right.
cash and you want excessive cash, and they're like, why, why do you need this much? It doesn't know your freaking business.
Right. True.
You don't want me to pull it out, but anyway,
Right.
but yes, so that's I'm venting about him, but 30%, and I had a map drawn out that I saw where spirit uh it showed some of the bigger banks how much gold they had, and then the lower ones the percentage, and then the ones that were going to drop off.
Okay.
So um they're just changing their brand and their name. I don't think it's going to be called banks. You're the bank.
Interesting. Right. Alrighty. Um, another quick money question. Do you have to invest in foreign currencies, silver and gold, or XRP/XLM to get ahead financially, or will
No,
it be fine once Nasara hits?
no, because I haven't done it at all, and Spirit's like, don't worry about it.
Right.
Gold and silver, that's all they've always said to me, but it's not
Mhm.
something that they've done a massive thing saying, buy a bunch of it, because it depends on people what they find as the priority and what they want, and I just want to live being content.
Yeah.
So, um, well, I wanted to get to something else, and I don't think we have enough time because that's almost 2 hours.
Yes.
But what we're going to do is next week we're going to present this. We are going to basically do a uh, YouTube at the end, a type of meditation in with a light. I want to do that for everybody, so I want to have plenty of time, and then just it didn't happen today.
Mhm.
But it's something that we can look forward to next week, and then maybe I can do a pet reading.
That
They're all wanting the pet reading.
they are now. Uh,
But yeah, so I think that would be a good thing. It's just something that they uh, want
mhm.
to happen. So, and but I want plenty of time for it. So,
Right. Yeah,
so
that
I think
takes.
we'll do 2 more questions, and we're gonna have to call it a night.
Okay. Let's
And
see.
then I'm still doing the special for readings on my site.
Yes, I've got that in here a couple times. Um,
We might want to bring up what I see like in the next couple days, which is arrest, 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 arrest. Corporation, corporation, dismantling, dismantling, dismantling. Media, 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 dismantling.
Right. Can't wait to see that. Let's see. Is the redemption energy okay?
The place,
I'm not
the
sure.
redemption.
I'm not quite sure. You may have to elaborate on that one, dear. Let's see. Do you feel like people's gifts are coming in?
Vast, big. They're trying to get on the. That's the thing that's changing is the students and doing meditation is coming in more because they're like wanting to jump on the bandwagon. Like I want to be in line. I want to be ready. I want to be going with this situation. And this
Mm-hmm.
is the thing with me. I think it's personal. Some of these situations, and they want to do the one-on-one. They don't want to do. They don't want to share it. They want it's personal to them.
Right.
So yes, it's coming in a different way because the religion is going away
Mm-hmm.
and people are tuning into them and spirit as one together as
Mm-hmm.
creator situation. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Do you, have you touched on the door opening?
Have
Is
I
it gonna
touched? I
open
just
soon?
want it open.
I know. All right.
And that's the thing. I think
Yeah.
the sun situation and that energy shifting,
Mm-hmm.
or I would call it the Yeshua energy that needs to come in. Here's the signature on this situation. I want a golden sun, a yellow sun to rise up,
Right.
not this thing that we have. So once that does, then you know that we're in it across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it works.
For those people that are still dealing with those other individuals who are having difficulty believing in that Trump won and all this other stuff going on, any other ideas of how
How
to
to
deal
deal
with
with it? This is what
it,
when we've talked
no matter
about
who
it
they
and
are,
as what?
no matter who they are, if it's close family, whatever.
They have to hit the pavement hard now. There's different layers of understanding. They have to hit it and then ask the question. There's just that process they're in. There's no soft process. Spirit. God. There's no soft process anymore. There is okay. They hit the door, they hit the pavement, and then they ask the questions. That's when you lead out your hand. But because we're coming to a process that it's gonna be hard
Mm-hmm.
because it's gonna be fast and a lot of evidence in front of their face, and they are gonna want to puke. As I said, the puke bucket.
Right. Right. So if they don't want to listen to you now, just wait, because
Right,
eventually they're going to ask.
right. And even seeing Q said, if they're not awake right now, let them just hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Great. 2 hours. Wow. Okay.
I know.
Boy,
So
we've been doing 2 hours, like several videos.
I know it just seems like
I know,
that's the norm now.
right? Doesn't feel like it though. Funny.
I know, and time just feels like it's not the same anymore.
Hmm.
That's how we felt last week. We were like it went
Right.
by really fast. on the situation. So anyway,
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for the readings,
you
and thank you,
too.
everyone.
So you guys have a good night. It's a good day. We'll see. Tomorrow will be even better. So stay
Right.
in the light. Good night.
Good night, guys.